New Blitz on Channel 4. I'm Brian Carter. We're going to kick off today's show here at Rabun County with Wildcats head baseball coach Mark Wilcox. Coach, I appreciate you being on the show and glad to have you as a first-time guest here on Blitz.
Thank you, Brian. Real pleased when you called and glad to do it.
I'm happy to be here. It's a little cold out here, not quite baseball weather just yet, but we are, 3 games in for you guys, and you're 3-0. And surprisingly, usually this part of the year, the bats are a little cold getting off started, just like the weather. But you've doubled up on your opponents, 22-11 so far. You got to kind of be pleased the way the season's going for you right off the bat.
Well, it's going well for us so far, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm real pleased with the bats. We've had some walks, and I think that's been in early season jitters for a lot of teams. Folks are not where they want to be pitching wise yet, us included, and so we've hit the ball a little bit in spots, but certainly not like we need to. But always, happy when we score more than the other team.
And that was going to be my next question for you: are there some areas already that you're kind of identifying that your team really needs to improve? I know you kind of said in some spots in the hitting, right?
Yeah. Well, last year's team, we only lost 2 position players, so we got all our pitching back. Plus, we picked up a 9th grader that's a pretty good arm, and so that speaks well for our pitching this year. So I feel like we're going to pitch well. Defensively, we should be even better, and so if our hitting can come around and we can put the ball in play consistently, I feel good about our chances.
And you got to still be feeling pretty good about last year making it to the Sweet 16, and I know that's now something you guys aren't really focused on because you want to focus on this year. But as you said, you bring back all but 2 position players. You got 3 seniors on this group, including Jesse Rentz, your star pitcher who's signed at Kennesaw State. What are some of the expectations you've placed on these guys, especially the 3 seniors this year?
Well, we got Jesse, of course, that's going to Kennesaw. He does a real good job, right-handed pitcher, throws a lot of strikes, very competitive on the mound. So he's already got 2 wins this year. We're fortunate that he doesn't play a winter sport, so he was in shape when the season started. He was able to go deeper into some games. We got Chase Groom, who played basketball, put him a little bit behind, but that's good, and we like him to play other stuff, so that's a good thing. And but he's catching up. He's going to throw some today. And then our other senior is David McGahee, an outfielder, and we expect good things out of all our seniors. Really, last year we were a young team. This year we're still a young team. We have 2 sophomores that start, 1 freshman that starts. So still young in some spots, but hopefully they'll come through and do well for us.
And that bodes well for your team. As you said, last year you make the Sweet 16 with a young team, and again bringing back almost everybody. 17-9 last year, 9-5 in region play. That has to be pretty big for a program to make it for the first time in recent memory for you guys. What is the impact on this program for making state like you did last year?
Well, it was exciting for us. I mean, we were pleased, and I'm very pleased with the progress we've made since I've been here. This is my 8th year, and certainly nothing that I've done alone. We got a lot of parents who really push the baseball, and they're help their kids through Little League and travel ball and whatnot, and that's what you got to have. I mean, they can't show up in the 9th grade and all of a sudden want to play baseball and
pick
be
up
good.
A ball. Yeah,
it just doesn't work like that with baseball. So got a lot of people that are dedicated to it, and that's shown, and I've benefited from that since I've been here.
Yeah, in the last 3 years particularly, we've seen your win total go up from 8, 12, and then 17 last year, and I'm sure that's just another stepping stone for the the goals and ambitions you guys have for this season. How hard is it to kind of instill that winning tradition in a team the way that you've had to do over the last 8 years?
Well, it's difficult, and it's different than anything I've ever faced, to do that, to just expect to win. But I think it helped an awful lot when our young guys came through and they experienced some success. So by the time they got here, they were kind of used to winning and kind of expected it, and that helped a lot. Hopefully we can keep that going. It upsets them when we don't do well now. Whereas, I've seen times when it wasn't as important, and but this group is, and we've done it a little bit each year, have gotten a little better at that, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Winning breeds winning, or success breeds success. I've always heard that's the saying. But, you guys are in a really tough region. Sometimes people don't quite look at 8AA all the way through. I mean, it's a really solid region, especially in baseball. You got Jefferson, Union, Greene County, Washington, Wilkes, and then yourselves now, a Sweet 16 team. How tough is it going to be this year for you to kind of repeat and grab one of those top 4 spots?
Well, it's going to be extremely difficult. We have to play well. I preach to the guys all the time. We don't schedule teams that we know we ought to beat. Like today we're playing Franklin. They're always good. We hadn't beat them yet. We've only played the last couple of years a single game, but we have them today, playing them twice this year. We play Hayesville. We try to play the teams that are good and outside our region to get us ready for the region games. And because you're right, Union and Jefferson and some of the others is really tough. And, you know, if first time you see somebody throwing at 85 and 87 is a region game, that's not good.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Now, last question for you, Coach, and then I'll let you go. But we talked a little about Jesse. You mentioned a couple of the other seniors you've got. We know Colin Grant, a big key part of this team at the backstop. Who are some of the other guys for our viewers that may not know a whole lot about Rabun County baseball that we can kind of be looking out for this year, and maybe some guys that might have a chance to come into their own this year?
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned, Colin, he's our catcher. Now, he tore his ACL during football, and but he's come back strong. Had the surgery, you know, way back at the beginning of the year because it was fortunately the first game or the scrimmage maybe when that happened. So he's recovered well. We're still watching how many innings he catches. Yeah. Kind of keeping a watch on him, but he's doing very well. Playing him in the outfield a little bit, but he's a really good catcher. Got a really good arm. You know, around the infield, we got Stetson Scott's a junior. He's also a pitcher, throws an awful lot of strikes. He's really good, as good as Jesse is. You know, I'm not afraid to throw Stetson out there against anybody we play, so that's good to have when you got two number ones, you feel like. Yeah. You know, Trey Wilcox is a 9th grader playing shortstop. Eli Gibson's a second baseman. He made the all-region last year as a freshman. Real big, strong guy, hits the ball really hard. And Drew Backer's our first baseman. He's an 11th grader, and he's as good as I've ever had defensively at first. So our guys feel like if they can knock it down, get to it or whatever, and sling it over there, if they can get it close to him, he's going to catch it. Yeah. So, you know, and we got Alden Wright in center field. He's a good player, big stick, hits clean up 3 or 4 for us, and can run. He's a real good athlete, so he's in center field. And then we got Jacob Seago in left. He did well last year. Had an on-base percentage over almost 500. Wow. Hit over 300. Wow. And then right field we got Dave McGahee and Jack Johnson playing in there some. And so I feel good about our chances. We're really kind of solid in every spot. Yeah. And hopefully, if things go right, we'll have another deep run. Yeah, and it looks like you're set up for the future, the immediate future anyway, for sure. And again, Coach, thank you so much for your time on Blitz. I always appreciate it. And just look forward to you guys getting back to the state playoffs again this year. Thank you a lot, Brian. Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach. Now, go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to feature 2 of the Wildcats here on Blitz.